Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification, and I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that 40-ish and under dollar range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. In fact, all 5 of these you can pick up at your local rack stores, and I decided to pick out 5 fragrances that I think probably get overlooked when you first see them, more than likely, or they are kind of rare pop-ups, and I suggest you just pick these things up, roll the dice on them, because they're inexpensive and I think they smell phenomenal. So let's just get into these 5 little hidden gems. Up first, I want to go over a fragrance that probably has the worst performance on here. Actually, it is the worst performing fragrance. It's the only one that is below average performing, but it smells so good and you probably overlook it because it's such a cheesy, weird looking bottle, but I had to feature this one, and that is Viso Victory by Homme, the weird little head thing. Got it for 15 bucks at Burlington. This was the first fragrance that I seen from Homme that didn't have the pressure sensitive atomizer. That's what it is, but it smells strikingly similar to Invictus Victory. Basically, what's happening with this fragrance is, if you don't know what that smells like, it's powdery vanilla forward. Got little trinkets of like a crisp citrus, a decent dose of amber, which is typically a combination between like labdanum and vanillin. You know, that combination kind of comes up with an amber accord, and a little bit of fresh spiciness and warm spiciness and a dusty kind of thing. The difference between this and Victory is it's got kind of a cardboard deal going on, but it's not offensive. It's not like bad or anything like that. It smells an awful lot like that playful vanilla powder fragrance. If you like it, check this one out. If not, if you don't like powdery vanillas, then pass on this one. This next fragrance is one that I actually recommended to somebody. They were buying up fragrances in the store and they were kind of looking for a freshie. And this one just happened to be there. And I was like, man, just roll the dice on this one. It's like $10 and it smells a lot like Azzaro Chrome, a whole lot like Azzaro Chrome. And that is Duville Blue Pour Homme. Real hard to get that thing to focus on there. So this is kind of like a white floral touch on Chrome. It's very fresh, green, aquatic, slightly metallic. It's like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. It smells a lot like Azzaro Chrome. Fresh, green, aquatic, uplifting, bright, clean, no kind of sweetness. It's just a fresh, clean fragrance. The performance is right at average on this. Maybe this one might be a little bit less than average too. It's not quite as bad as Viso Victory. This is along the lines of like what most fresh fragrances are. Chrome performs pretty good. This one doesn't perform quite as good, but it's a great gym fragrance and it's like $10. If you like the Chrome DNA, check this one out. It's a little softer. It's not quite as sharp as Chrome. Has just as much like citrus and greenery, like rosemary or something in here. Let me just get it. Let me just get this thing real quick. Yeah, definitely got some like lemon rosemary. Bright, clean, refreshing, juicy, a little bit tart, metallic, and a good dose of some white florals. Duville Blue Pour Homme surprised me when I first bought it. This next fragrance actually blew me away when I bought it. The quality of this juice, what it smells like, the performance on it, well above average performing. It lasted me the entire work day. And the dry down changed quite a bit, but still you could tell that it was the same fragrance and it was very, very good. And that is Ben's Sherman's Signature. I've only seen these Ben Shermans in the rack stores a couple times. I have the Iconic too, which is also a good one. It's very woody, It's kind of weak in performance, but very, very spicy, woody. Beautiful. Great quality too, and they're super cheap. Crazy cheap. So if you're just thinking about this when you see it at the rack store, just get it, because there's a good chance that you won't see it again. And what you're going to get in this one is it's going to be like a cardamom, leathery, earthy, woody. There's a little bit of sweetness. Like I almost feel like there's like a raspberry thing or something. Very, very, very similar to Tuscan leather, ombre leather type deal. If you don't like those kind of scent profiles, stay away from this one, because it has that kind of rich, dark, mysterious, woody. There's like almost like a creamy, dark oud thing happening in here. Spicy. Like I said, it's got that cardamom in here. So if you don't like those Tuscan leathers, or like the knockoffs, Tuscany leather and amber leather, then you're probably not going to like this. I like the way this one smells better than amber leather, Tuscan leather, Tuscany leather, the knockoff. I like the way that this smells a little bit better. And the performance, like I said, is stellar. The dry down becomes very dusty, earthy. That's the dry down. Great little pickup if you're not afraid of a bold fragrance. This next one I really do think is kind of like a hidden gem. I really think it's a hidden gem, because it smells almost one-to-one to Phantom. There's a fragrance from Lattafa that does a great job at replicating it. Hayati Al-Maliki, the blue bottle, smells a lot like Phantom. They do a great job at it. And I did a comparison, a side by side, and I was I almost had bias. I'm like, yeah, come on, Lattafa, do your thing. And I had to be honest with myself. And this one outperformed it. It smelled better from the opening. It was like smoother, and the dry down got creamier and just more inviting, whereas the Lattafa kind of got worse in the dry down. It started getting like a little bit abrasive, which is weird. You'd think it'd be the opening, but the Al-Maliki kind of got like, started falling apart and becoming like pixelated or something. I don't know how to describe it. Whereas this one stayed true to the game the whole time and got creamier and better and stayed stronger. The atomizer is probably the worst in the game. It is a straight up squirt gun. I don't know what's happening there, but I found ways to apply this thing. And it's one of those type deals that I sprayed it on my hand, and way later on in the day, I'm like, man, what am I smelling? It smells really good. I was just like testing it out, and I was like, oh, that's this thing. I kept getting whiffs of it, and it was really good. So, Iconic. This one is a like sharp, tart, juicy, kind of like rhubarb, citrus, little bit of like a lemony thing, like a lemony rhubarb citrus, lots of lavender and vanilla. There's something about that juicy, tart, rich rhubarb in here. Fragrantica doesn't list rhubarb in Al-Maliki or in Phantom, but me, I swear I'm smelling rhubarb in that thing. I swear I'm smelling it in this. There's something that's noticeable about that. I mean, it's tart, sharp, juicy, rich, along with that lemony, vanilla, lavender. Super unique. Phantom's a very unique smelling fragrance. It's a signature scent kind of thing. This is a signature scent fragrance. In fact, one of the guys that cuts my hair, like, that's his jam, is Phantom. That's what he goes for. I showed him Al-Maliki and he really liked it. I need to put him up to game onto this one. You find this one at Bell's for like, I mean, 15 bucks. And I smelled it the first time I went in there and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty darn good. And then later on, I was like, dang, why didn't I buy that? I certainly hope that thing is still there. So when I went back and it was there, I was like, yeah, you're coming home with me because I need to check you out. And even if I don't even wear it, it's worth talking about. But I do wear this one. I actually do wear it. It's very, very versatile too. It works in so many occasions. Super youthful. It's crazy youthful. There's not a dressed up bone in this thing's body. So don't think that you're going to, stand out in a very good way in a formal occasion. But anything else other than that, casual, whatever, daytime, nighttime, summer, winter, this is a good one for that. 4-season fragrance, amazing pickup. This next fragrance I enjoy so much. I don't wear it nearly as much as I should, maybe because it's so limited to when I can wear this thing, because it is definitely a cool weather kind of fragrance. But man, this thing, if you see it and it's in one of those little cases, as was the case when I bought this thing at Burlington, just scoop this thing up if what I'm saying about it sounds right. Exotic Memory by Milestone. It's a exquisite embroidery cologne, and it's a rich, like, let me get it in the air real quick. good atomizer on this one too. So spicy, leathery, dark patchouli, little brushes of vanilla happening in there. There's more woodiness than oud because I think embroidery has an oud note. I kind of get that in this, like a little bit, like a little touch, like almost like a designer kind of thing, to where it's not being like ultra bold with it. I get way more of a woody take on that. So it is a spicy, leathery, warm, like earthy, dark, mysterious kind of deal. Spicy, woody, leathery, dark, a little bit of oud, good dose of patchouli and rose. This definitely has a dose of rose, a pretty decent dose. Rose patchouli combination. I didn't see a leather accord either, but I get leather in this. That's just me. Spicy, leathery, oud, patchouli, rose. Wonderful smelling. Beast mode and performance. What is this thing? $15? This thing lasts all day. I don't say that about many fragrances because I got dry skin. They don't do so well. The one thing I do have an advantage is fragrances kind of tend to smell awesome on me. More often than not, people say that it smells better on me than it does on the test strip or out of the bottle, especially like vanilla. This has vanilla in it, I think. Man, this thing pushes off for hours. Amazingly so. You give yourself like 6 or 7 sprays in the morning and you're good like the whole day with this one. So if you see this, just scoop it up. Just scoop it up. If you don't like it, somebody else will. You can sell it guaranteed. So that's 5 fragrances that I just felt a need to talk about. I've been wanting to kind of feature these ones in a video. I didn't know how to do it. Luckily, they can be like a rack store, best of like hidden gems rack store kind of video, because that's where I found every one of these things. Super happy that I got them. And if any of them sound good to you, roll the dice on them, because they're not necessarily blind buy worthy, but they punch so much harder than their price and they're ultra cheap. And if you have them, let me know what you guys think about these fragrances. Am I off? Am I onto something? Let me know what's up. So with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.